Hello, I'm Ted Kenny from Top Hops Beer Shop. Welcome to Essex Market, home of Top Hops to Go. The market's been here for 80 plus years. It's a retail market with everything you could possibly want. There's greengrocers, butchers, cheesemongers, bakers, coffee place, bagel place, about a dozen prepared food places, and a great beer shop. Come on down, visit us at the Essex Market Top Hops. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we've got some great beers this week. We're going to start with Twin Comet, a double IPA from Massachusetts. This is from Widowmaker Brewing. I've been hearing a lot of great stuff about this brewery for a long time, but hadn't been able to get my hands on any of it. So I was very excited when Remarkable Liquids announced that they were going to have some Widowmaker coming to the market this week. Beautiful golden, hazy IPA. Nice citrus notes, beautiful bouquet. Yep, nice and fruity, delicious beer. Bright, bit of a zing to it, really nice. I can see why I heard such great things about this. This is a delicious beer. Nice, fruit forward, really clean, not a lot of aftertaste. I'll tell you though, where do they put that 8.8 ABV? There's no burn there. This doesn't taste harsh at all. This is extremely smooth. Delicious double IPA. Here we have White Tie from Westbrook Brewing. Westbrook is a great small brewery out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. These guys are very well known for their Goza and their key lime pie Goza. That style of beer, they pretty much brought back from dead and put on the map. This is their White Tie, which is a wheat beer with Asian spices. Now, there's just a little bit of haze to this beer. It's got a nice white head and just a little bit of haze. You can see through it, not as dense, not as opaque as a lot of unfiltered beers. Wheat beers generally do have at least some haze to them. Coriander, a little bit of spiciness to it. It's got that great grassy quality to it. Delicious beer, really goes well in a warm weather setting. You can see why this would be very popular now in South Carolina. Delicious, light, refreshing wheat beer. This is Insetto from Stillwater Brewing. Stillwater is a gypsy brewer and brews out of several different places. One of the places that they brew out of is Westbrook in South Carolina. It's a fun coincidence that we have a Westbrook beer in the six-pack this week and a Stillwater beer in the six-pack this week. Westbrook started coming to New York about 9 years ago when we opened up Top Hops. Stillwater had started brewing down there. The guys from Stillwater introduced the guys from Westbrook to the distributor up here. At the time, Westbrook was only available in South Carolina and North Carolina. Very unusual for their next market to be New York City, but they felt very comfortable with that distributor, and so they decided to come up to New York. This is a sour beer with Italian plums. Sour beers have been gaining in popularity over the last several years, and there really doesn't seem to be any end to their growth. It's kind of a little bit ruddy, a little bit pinkish, reddish, with a white head. You've got some of those plum notes, not overly pronounced. It doesn't have a huge nose that punches you in the face. Very subtle, hazy light with just a little bit of that ruddy color in there. Yep, a nice clean sour. As I said, it's an Italian plum sour. It's got very subtle plum taste to it, not overly juicy or jammy or anything like that. Just a nice subtle taste with just a little bit of tartness. It's not one of these pucker your mouth sours. A really great, easy drinking beer. It would be great to introduce somebody to sours with this beer. Give them a nice entryway into the style. Here's Autumn Landscape from Industrial Arts Brewing Company out of Garnerville, New York. So this is a New York Common Lager. So this is part of their landscape series. They do winter landscape, summer landscape, autumn landscape. Now it says New York Common Lager. A common lager usually refers to a California common, which is a lager yeast that is fermented at ale temperatures. Originally called a steam beer and was popularized by Anchor Brewing Company out of San Francisco with their Anchor steam beer. They trademarked the name, and so everything now needs to be called California Lager, or because this is brewed using all New York ingredients, a New York Common. But it's California Common, in this case, New York Common. Industrial Arts Brewing Company is a great brewery out of Rockland County. The brewmaster and owner of Industrial Arts, before he opened up Industrial Arts, worked at Peekskill Brewing and came up with the recipe for Simple Sour and Eastern Standard, two delicious beers out of Peekskill Brewing. Before that, he was with Ithaca Brewing Company, and he created Flower Power. Flower Power was the first East Coast take on a West Coast style IPA, considered to be one of the most important beers in the craft beer lexicon. So he really knows what he's doing. Now, you can see this is much more clear than virtually any of the beers we've tasted. It's got a nice white head, again, medium-sized bubbles. It's actually clear enough where you can actually see the carbonation coming off the bottom of the glass. This is almost like a throwback to what beer was 6 years ago. It's amazing. Everything now is opaque. Nice, yeasty aromas, biscuity. As I said, this is a California Common style, which means that it's a lager yeast, but fermented at higher temperatures as an ale would be. It's got a full mouthfeel, kind of coats the tongue a little bit, really malty backbone to it, not a lot of hops, a little bit of bitterness, but it's not going to have those hops that a lot of IPA drinkers are going to be used to having here. There's no Citra, there's no Mosaic. This is a more traditional style of beer. Here we have Lizard King, which is a Mosaic hop pale ale from Pipeworks out of Chicago. They came into New York a few years ago, and now we can get it most of the time. We still have to deal with out-of-stock issues with these guys occasionally. They make great beers, and they're very, very popular. This is a single hopped pale ale. They're known for their Ninja versus Unicorn, Lizard King, these big hoppy beers. If you get out there, you gotta look these guys up. Now this is a clear pale ale, single hopped. You get the biscuity, yeasty aromas off of this. Very clear, really nice pale ale, almost an IPA. Very heavily hopped, but with a single Mosaic hop. Really smooth, a lot of bitterness on the back of it. It doesn't have the citrus notes that you expect in a New England IPA. This is a classic pale ale. This is a delicious beer for people who still like bitter beers. Now we got the Stout, left-hand Nitro Milk Stout. This is a nitrogenated beer in a can without a widget. Most Nitro beers, Guinness, Old Speckled Hen, all of those style beers, they have a small plastic puck in the bottom of it that has nitrogen loaded into it. And when you open the can, it changes the pressure in the can, and the widget releases the nitrogen and goes banging around the can and releasing the nitrogen. The left-hand Milk Stout Nitro beer, they managed to figure out how to make a Nitro beer in a can without the widget. The thing is, the way you do it is you open it up like you do a Nitro, but then you need to pour hard. So now if I were to pour this into a full-size regular glass, I would turn it over and pour it like that, almost shaking it. And then you'd get the cascading nitrogen effect in that. With this size glass, we can't do that. But we could, we'd make a big mess. So this is a milk stout. Now, a milk stout means that it's made with lactose, the sugars that are found in milk. So it lends itself to a much sweeter experience than other stouts that aren't lactose. The nitro in it will also lend to it being a creamier feel. You can get those roasted coffee notes off of it, delicious. Now, you see this beer is black. This beer is as black can be. There is no white in this beer at all. And then it's got that really nice tan head to it. It's about close to a ½ inch thick. This is it's a really good looking beer. That is delicious. I love a good stout. It's got a really creamy, full mouthfeel. It's got a little bit of roastiness to it, but the lactose sugar in it gives it that nice sweetness to it, which really offsets that roastiness. So you don't have that bitter, burnt coffee taste that you get on some stouts, which can also be desirable. But this has got that sweetness to it. Again, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, and this just got the right amount of sweetness to it. Really love this beer. I haven't had this one in a while. Left Hand came out with this, I want to say about 7 years ago. What happens a lot of times is you start drinking and chasing whatever's new, so you lose sight of the ones that have been around for a while. Got to get this one back in the rotation. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had as much fun as I did. This subscription would make a great holiday gift. We have other gifts available at tophops.com. We've got 6-packs, 4-packs, large format bottles, the Bourbon County brand stout, Black Friday offerings, the original and variants. Please check us out at tophops.com. We look forward to seeing you at 94 Orchard Street or here at Essex Market. Thank you very much.